wife, you want to say wife is a mouth in my heart?
Hello, everyone! Welcome to CC11's Demo Day. Welcome for everyone who was able to come here, be considerate, and welcome everyone on the internet. We have a lot of people on the live stream. No pressure. Who is here for the first time? Amazing. Who here is an engineering manager or someone who hires people? Amazing. All right. I don't want to take much time. Oh, I always forget this. Yes, I'm Felix, by the way. Hi. I'm the engineering manager and curriculum owner. So whatever hell these beautiful people went through, I created it or helped create it. And welcome to Demo Day again. Amazing. Please tag us on social media. Tweet a lot, do the Facebooks, do some Instagrams, whatever y'all do. Tag us. Thank you. Also, a thank you to some of our partners that we work with, namely Raptor Rapid API, for a collaboration that we do with you every cohort. Really amazing. And thanks to Yamaneko for bringing diversity into tech, and also for sponsoring some of our students. All right. What's going on tonight? Well, I feel like by now you know this is the introduction. We don't want to take much of your time. We'll jump right into senior project presentations, the big project that they work on, the project that gets more and more amazing every cohort. Sorry, old graduates. And then some closing words. So, without further ado, I'll just give it up to our MC, our Master of Ceremonies for tonight, Max.
Thank you, Felix. All right, well, good evening, everybody. As Felix mentioned, my name is Max, and I have been lucky enough to be here with Soul Weeks, this amazing group of people. We've come so far. I have vivid memories right now of building that tower out of spaghetti that we just saw here the first few weeks, and everyone's skills have improved so much. We are so creative, we are so weird, I'm so proud of us. Also, thing to note, half of our cohort took foundations, which is really interesting. So I guess maybe that's why we're all such good friends, because most of us knew each other already, and the new kids were just lucky. Anyway, we're going to start the evening with my team. Lucky me. Team Destinations. Maybe you're going to notice something. I'm going to have a little costume change right now. Yes, so at the moment, international air travel. How's that going? Anyone hearing in the news that that's going really well? Because it's not. However, with the Destinations app, we can experience international air travel. We can learn about other countries. We can see flights going to different destinations. And one really awesome thing is I've worked with the tech lead of this project before in a previous assignment. And she was really passionate about this and wanted to do this project back then. And now we finally have the opportunity to do it. She can show us what she wanted. It's cool. I can't tell you it's cool because I'm part of the team, but it's very cool. Anyway, there's going to be trivia. We're going to be asking you questions, so get ready to share all of your fun facts and information with us. All right, I pass it over to me.
Welcome aboard. My name is Sachi. I'll be your captain today. I love airplanes. Who here loves airplanes?
Yeah.
Every time I see them on the sky, I always wonder where they're going. That's why we made this up, Destinations. The app you can see airplanes around the globe and you can learn about destination countries. Without further ado, I pass the mic to Rafael.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to the App Store with a brief connection at Google Play. The current time is 158-521-8600 units epoch time. And now, let's get some service over the some scenery over the window and some service down the aisle. Since we have been through the security procedures, now some entertainment. Our main character tonight is a little girl, and much like Sachi, she's obsessed with planes. Her mother is on a business trip overseas, and her father's taking care of her. It is Monday morning. Her father gives her a tablet or a smartphone with a destination app opened up so that she can prepare her breakfast. She can get a glimpse of how diverse her planet is and gets that curiosity sparkle. And when her mother's called her in the evening, she can tell her about all the things she learned. And in order to achieve that, and what this ship is all about, we have interactive planes displayed on an awesome 3D globe. The planes are generated with data retrieved from live airspace, and once you click the planes, you can see fun facts about the destination countries. And of course, games. Now our captain will introduce you the crew members.
Thank you, Rafael. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm Sachi. I'm a captain today. And here's Ashley, our first officer, and our chief science officer, Kasumi, and chief engineer, Rafael, and chief operations officer, Max. Okay, it's demo time.
Thank you, Captain Sachi. All right, as your Chief Operations Officer this evening, it is my responsibility to present the app to you. I'm very excited about it. Let's get going. Oh, who's that? I wonder. Okay, so getting started. Yeah. Thank you. We're using the iOS version that you can get via the App Store here. Let's click it up. So you can see we go into the landscape. We have a lovely loading screen here. And what do you see? Planes. All over the globe. How awesome. If I'm 7 years old, I'm playing with this app. What's the first thing I want to do? Click everything. So let's get clicking. I'm going to click on this plane. Okay. It's on its way to the United Kingdom. That's interesting. I can learn more about the UK right here. Oh, very quiet. I heard it. Makes a little plane sound, which is nice. Yeah, we have our little Captain Blob friend telling you the language they speak. And something else, the national animal of the United Kingdom is the lion. Who knew? Alright, I also have a little treasure chest over here, so let's see what that's all about. Okay, it's a scavenger hunt. A lot of different things to choose from. I think I like question number 3. Find a plane going to your country whose flag looks like this. Does anyone know what country's flag that is? Yes!
Thailand.
Yeah, it's Thailand! Awesome! So, let's go find Thailand, shall we? Plane going to Thailand. Where are you? That's not the one. Ooh, looks like we found it. I have a little alert. I think I've seen the flag. Learn more about Thailand, maybe? Wow, the national animal of Thailand is the elephant. Love this. All right, let's check on our scavenger hunt. We have a new update here. It says, click me. All right, you found a plane going to Thailand. Thailand's flag looks like this. I'm going to add Thailand to my passport with this button. And I have a new alert. So let's look at my passport. All right, so I've been exploring the world with destinations for a while now. So all the places I have been are stored on my phone. And now I've been to Thailand, so that one's there as well. Awesome. So if I'm 7 years old, I want to mess around with this a little more. I can go all Anyway, if I messed it up too much, I can just press the reset button and I can see everything properly again. Anyway, this has been a demonstration of destinations. If everyone enjoyed that, I will pass it all back to Captain Sachi.
Thank you. Now I'm going to talk about tech stack. So our front end is all made with Unity, and all the scripts are written in C# as Unity required. And we use database with the Firebase, and we use anonymous authentication to store where you were for passport. And the backend, we use Node.js, Express.js, and the server is deployed on Heroku. And now all app is deployed on iOS and Google Store. And we use these APIs. OpenSky is for live air traffic to place the airplanes around the globe. And REST countries is about fun fact about countries. So now Ashley is going to talk about the challenges.
Thank you, Captain. Sometimes the best routes call for unforeseen turbulences. However, these challenges often lead us to our greatest learnings. So during our flight, we encountered a few challenges. One was navigating C# in Unity. This is because for most of our team members, this was the first time working with C#. Another challenge we encountered was the whole process of deploying to the app stores. And however, this process helped us uncover bugs that we might have otherwise not realized. For example, configuring aspect ratios for different devices. We are also able to take a step away from Postgres, which we are used to working with, to instantiate a database, a NoSQL database, using Firebase, integrated with user authentication. And for anyone interested in working with Unity in the future, we have a few tips from our learnings. The first is if you like to make asynchronous calls in C# in Unity, we suggest using something called coroutines. Second is when retrieving JSON formatted data from a server or an API call, Unity is actually not able to interpret arrays in the same way that JavaScript is used to. So to get around this, we suggest using something called lists. And lastly, we all know how important it is to practice CI/CD, continuous integration and deployment. And Unity makes this easy for us with something called Unity Teams. And we're able to push changes to a cloud and sync with our team members in real time. Thank you very much for your attention. And I'd like to pass the mic to Kasumi to talk about what we have in store for you next.
Thank you, Ashley. Additional features we are most excited about includes, firstly, adding more fun facts and graphics that children will enjoy. Secondly, we want to visualize the plane's movement along the arc, like this. Thirdly, options to change viewpoint, like look at from the plane as a pilot. And then options to change background music to original one. Finally, our app shows how to say hello in various languages, but now we are working on adding audio in the language as well. So here is quick preview.
Hello. In the future, I will be able to speak other languages too.
Sorry, that's our future features. I'm gonna pass this mic to Captain Sachi.
Thank you, Kasumi. This is a QR code that leads you to GitHub, where you can find a link to download our app. Thank you for flying with Destinations. We hope you had a pleasant flight. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
16 destinations. I'm thanking myself, it's fine. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. We worked right next to another team called the Moonwalkers. And they're next. Here at Code Chrysalis, we think it is very important to be able to change your life or to improve yourself. And the Moonwalkers are seeking to help us do exactly that. Before we get into that though, there's a very special thing that I agreed to do here, which is tell you a joke that one of the Moonwalkers has been telling to us for 3 months. So I'm gonna do it. Feedback is appreciated. All right. Skeleton walks into a bar, orders a beer and a mop. That's the joke. What do you think? What do you think, everybody?
It's good.
I don't know. I think that was really poorly received. What do you think?
It was still warm.
Still warm?
Yeah, still. You got some love from it.
All right. Thank you, everybody,
That's
for
important.
enduring that. And now I will pass it off to Team Moonwalker. Oh, over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Max, for that introduction and for telling Nell's joke there. So as Max said, we are the Moonwalkers. And before I talk about our app, I'd like to introduce you to our team. So this is Miki Matsumoto. She's full stack engineer. And over there we have Koto Ayama, another full stack engineer, and Nemanja Milenkovic, the comedian and also our tech lead. And I'm Travis, the team lead. So our app was inspired by our team member Miki. She recently completed a 30-day challenge to do squats. So to do more squats at the end of 30 days than she could do at the beginning. And how many could you do by the end?
200.
200. Definitely more than I could do right now, I think. But one of the things Miki realized when she was doing that challenge was it was hard to keep track of the schedule because every day there was a different task for her to be able to reach her goal. And also she had a hard time staying motivated. And that was the inspiration for our app, One Moon. So One Moon, a new moon is every 30 days, and that's where the name came from. But with our app, users can build a custom schedule based on different kinds of challenges. So maybe one that increases by quantity, like Miki's did with squats. One that increased by time, something you want to do for a longer period of time every day. Or maybe one where you just want a reminder every day to do the same thing. One of the ways that the app helps you stay more accountable is it sends push notifications twice a day. In the morning, it sends you a scheduled task for the day to let you know what your challenge is that day. And then at the end of the day, it checks in to see if you were able to complete that day's goal. And it also helps you stay motivated by allowing you to complete challenges in a group. So let's look at the app. Thank you. So I'm going to open the app now. Thanks for our home screen, Matt. Okay, so once the user's logged in, the first thing they see are their current challenges. So I have a few challenges going. We have a group challenge as a group. We're all trying to do Radio Taiso every morning. And I'm personally trying to do 30 days of squats. So first, let's see how Radio Taiso is going. So, looks like Kota did it today. Miki did it. Nell, did you do Radio Taiso?
It seems I forgot to check in, so I'll do that right now.
Alright, check in. And while Nell checks in, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a new challenge. So we'll push the create new challenge. We can choose between making an individual challenge or a group challenge. We'll make an individual one. I'm feeling inspired by Miki's exercise, so I'm going to try maybe a push-ups challenge. I think I can do half a push-up today. So here's where I was mentioning you could pick the different kind of challenge you wanted to do, a quantity, time challenge, or a repeating challenge. But another feature we have is a challenge library. So maybe you have an idea that you want to do a challenge, but you don't quite have your own plan ready. You can look through a list of already made challenges to pick one to help you get started. So for push-ups, we're going to do a quantity. And like I said, I can do half of one, so maybe one a day is good for me. Okay, so once you put that in, you can view your schedule. So By the end of it, I should be able to do 30. We'll see, hopefully. And now we can check back in to see if Nell logged in. And so he did. If we zoom in, we can see everyone in our group today has completed. We got 4 thumbs up, so everyone's staying motivated. That's really great. I just want to show you one more feature. So what it looks like when a user checks in. So this is, I'm doing my own squats challenge, like Miki. So I did do my squats this morning, so I'll go ahead and check in. I get message feedback from the app, great job. And now I can also share to social media. So the share messages are customized. So right now it says, I completed day 5 of my 30 days of squats. And since it's integrated into the phone, we can share to any of the social media platforms that are on our device. That's it right now for the demo. I'm going to turn it over now to Miki to talk about our tech stack.
Thank you, Travis. So I'm gonna talk about tech stack. We decided to use AWS Amplify, which is a development platform on Amazon to create iOS application. We choose these managed services, AppSync, DynamoDB, Cognito, Lambda, CloudWatch, and Pinpoint. This is our backend architecture. First of all, we authenticate the user by using Cognito, and user can get data via GraphQL or AppSync. And data is stored in DynamoDB, which is a NoSQL database. And Lambda functions are called by other services to organize data, and CloudWatch takes automated action to call Lambda function. And Pinpoint is for logging. So on front end, we use React Native, which allows us to create a cross-platform application. And in terms of design, we use native base, which is also cross-platform UI components kits. And in order to get data on server, we use GraphQL. And lastly, we use Zustat as state management, which is pretty new library, and the first version was released last year, so please check them out. So I'll pass to Kota to talk about our engineering challenges.
Thank you, Miki. So I'm talking about engineering challenges. So firstly, modeling data in NoSQL. So we used one of NoSQL, DynamoDB. So differently from relational database, firstly we define the access patterns and then design the primary key and secondary index. So this was actually a challenge for us because it was the first time to use NoSQL. And secondly, React Native with Xcode. So when we developed the iOS application with React Native, we also used Xcode, the default environment for building iOS application. So we have to deal with the conflict between the two softwares. For example, so some settings needed to be set up in directly Xcode, but these requirements are not well documented. So thirdly, implementing UI of mobile application with React Native. So we all have built the interfaces of web-based application before, but when building a UI of a mobile application with React Native, actually there are some challenges. So we learned about layout strategies and implement it. Okay, so next, Neil is talking about future features.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Now we heard about some difficulties we had from Kota. We heard about technology we used from Miki, and you were able to see how everything works thanks to Travis, who presented our app in front of you. Now we are going to talk about the future, or what we would like to see in OneMoon. Now the first thing would be facial recognition with emotion detection. Something that we saw for the first time from our friend Asami here, that implemented it in her own app a couple of months ago. Now that data, hopefully we would use to predict, identify the difficulties or difficult points in challenges, so we can help the user by more, let's say, motivate the user more in that sense. The third thing would be getting this app to your smartwatch, which might be very beneficial, especially if you're including swimming, running, or walking in your challenge. And the last thing, support for multiple languages. Between 18 of us here at Code Chrysalis in our cohort, we have around 10 languages. So we would like this one moon to be translated to each of those. Now, this is us, the Moonwalkers. You can check our GitHubs, you can check our LinkedIns, you can ask us any question if you like, and please do follow this QR code. Download our app that you will be able to if you do. And before we finish, we would just like to leave you with a short message. And that is, we truly believe that one moon can help you, can motivate you through the challenge or the goal that you imagine. But you do need to make the first step, you do need to start that challenge. And we would like to ask you to do so tonight after you leave Code Chrysalis on your way home. Just try to think of something you would like to do. Try to think of something you would like to change. Or try to think of something nice. And do it. So go achieve that goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Moonwalkers, for that wonderful message. Yes, I've personally been using their app to track one of my 30-day challenges, and I love getting the little reminders that keeps me in check. All right, next up we have Team Tamamon getting ready here. And I like what they're doing because something that's been very important to our cohort so far has been cute creature friends. You may notice everyone's phone background. There's one of our cute creature friends. His name is Malcolm. He's a friend. We have another cute creature friend. His name is Potato. It's Yam's dog. And while everyone is making their wonderful whiteboard plans for all of their big projects and their big, wonderful things that they've made, a little potato drawing will always just sneak its way into every single whiteboard. And it always makes everyone really happy. So we have proof that animal friends make you happy. And Tamamon is about to double down on that right now. So let's give it up for them.
Thank you so much for coming to our presentation tonight. I am so excited to introduce to you our app, Tamamon AR. So, some of you might be wondering, what exactly is Tamamon AR and what on earth is a Tamamon? Well, let me explain. So, it is a truth universally acknowledged that people like to take care of cute things, right? That's why Tamagotchi was such a huge success. That's also probably why we all own cats, right? And it's also true that people really like to collect cute things. We don't just want one, we want a lot of them. Like I saw in the news recently, some 77-year-old guy in Italy got arrested because he was going outside to play Pokemon Go. So we take this seriously, right? And so basically, what Tamamon AR is it's an application that combines the best of Tamagotchi and Pokemon Go by allowing you to collect and take care of these really cute things that we've called Tamamon. So, I've talked about it a lot. Let's actually show you a demonstration. Alright, so you can see that we have our app screen up here. If I click into our Tamamon app, you'll notice that as soon as we've loaded, I can actually press the Start button to be able to go into the Start menu screen. And on the Start menu screen, you should notice three things. One, there's a Store button. Two, we have this kind of mysterious Pokemon button. And three, we have an Unlock button. I'm going to start with Pokemon. By the way, who here speaks Japanese? Yeah, so Pokemon is kind of a chubby cat, right? He was named because of the Japanese term pochari, which means chubby. So, let's see what happens when we click into his AR scene. Oh, hello! He's appeared above the audience. Everyone who's near, feel free to say hi. You'll notice we have 3 buttons that allow you to either feed, clean, or hug him. Let's feed him. He's fat, he likes food, I like food. Alright, so he says thank you because, yeah, he's the one that likes food most out of our Tamamon. Maybe we want to clean him, so we can just press the clean button and now he's sparkling. Finally, if anyone has felt, I really like how the audience is reaching out to multiple. If we want to feel like a little bit better at stressful lately, we can also always hug him. So let's do that. Now, if we go back into our menu screen, we'll notice that there's a store button, and this is because you can choose a Tamamon that fits your personality and what you think is cute. Personally, we've got a lot of options. One of them you might notice is kind of expensive. We'll get to that. Yeah, but I really like frogs, so let's go with Keramon. And now if we go back to our menu, you'll notice that there's now an AR scene unlocked for us to interact with Keramon. They all have different personalities, different animations, different reactions, so please have fun with this app. And finally, you might have noticed that you have these sort of strange handouts that we gave you. These are actually fully functional AR markers that you can use with our unlock button. So if you download our app from the iOS App Store, you can actually scan this and unlock a resident celebrity, Potato. Yeah, so go have fun, everyone. Feel free to do that. We now have Potemon in our menu, and I'm going to finish the demo here. Thank you. All right. Now I'm going to hand it off to Dan to talk about the team that made this possible.
Thank you, Mary. So yeah, we met Mary, who just did our demo. Mary was our team lead and one of the designers. She did a lot of the sprites for this app. We have Asami, who was our tech lead, front-end designer, and also did a lot of the really good sprites for our app. I was the project manager. I also did carrying on, so a little bit. And we have Antonio, who is our scrum master and did a lot of the back end on our application. Okay, so now that you've met us, I'd like to go over the technology that we used for our application. So our app uses React Native, which is a mobile framework. It enables us to use React components to make a native mobile app. We used Vero React, which is responsible for the AR rendering that our app does. Our backend is hosted on a PostgreSQL using Hasura, which is a GraphQL engine. And we bundled the app using Xcode, and lastly used Magica Voxel to generate all the lovely sprites that we used.
So now I'm going to explain about front-end. Front-end has 3 functions mainly. First one is Tamamon menu. You can select default Tamamon. It is Pokemon. So if you want to get another Tamamon, you can go to Tamamon store. In Tamamon store, you can buy new Tamamon to use currency you gain from interacting with your Tamamon. And these pages are created by React Native. And next one is Tamamon AR scene. You can interact with Tamamon with all actions tracked in a central state, such as fetch point. When you feed Tamamon, the fetch point is saved to database, and Tamamon do some actions. Different Tamamon have different personalities and reactions. And some Tamamon requires an AR image mapper. When you scan it, Tamamon will appear on it. So you can get special Tamamon like Pokemon. And these pages are created by ViroReact. ViroReact is open source developer platform for building AR application using React Native.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the backend. So we used Hasura for our GraphQL engine, and that enabled us to very quickly generate a GraphQL endpoint for our application. That's deployed on Heroku, which hosts a PostgreSQL database. When you first download the app and open it, it uses your unique device ID to create a row in our table and set a state. And from then on, the state will persist whenever you use our app. So when you clean, feed, or hug your Tamamon, it will make an API call to the database and make sure it's persistent.
All right, so it's not an engineering project without some challenges, right? So I'm going to go ahead and talk about some front-end challenges that we faced. So the very first thing that we encountered was how to properly position objects in AR space. And when it came to Tamamon AR, we actually tended to have about 4 to 5 objects in a single scene, which made things very complicated. And following that, we actually ended up running into some really interesting undocumented errors when it came to working with a hybrid Vera React and React Native application. Now, remember that AR scene that we showed you with Pochamo? The AR scene itself is built using Vera React, but the 2D UI interface uses React Native. And maybe because Vera React is so young, a lot of the errors that pop up in that situation are completely undocumented. They didn't exist. So we had a lot of fun figuring those out. And finally, the last thing that we encountered was how to build both the code base and all of the design elements at the same time, because this was a really design-intensive process. That's it for front end. I'm going to let Antonio talk about back-end challenges.
Sure. So some of the back-end challenges we faced were version compatibility. So our app was built with Vera React 2.17, which is optimized for React Native 59.9. So when those two are working together, everything's great. Unfortunately, a lot of libraries we wanted to use are optimized for React Native 60.0 and onwards because it'll auto-link the dependencies between React and Xcode. And the problem with that is that if you don't link the dependencies properly, you're going to get a lot of bundling and compiling errors, so the app doesn't work. So the challenge was trying to link them manually and find libraries that could work with us. Another challenge we faced was data synchronization. So if you interact with your Tamamon and then you close the app and then you check it maybe a couple hours or a day later, you want those changes to be made so that when you access it again, it remembers certain things, but other states would differ. So if we have our app and our data, when we have to update the state from the database, and then we need to make these time-based changes to it. So if you fed it 5 times, after a couple hours, the times that you fed it should decrease or go to 0. So once we have that, we can interact with our Tamamon, play with it, feed it, and then when we're done, we need to make an API call to update the database. And that was a bit challenging because we needed to decide when is the best time. If we do it too infrequently, if you close the app suddenly, it won't remember it. But if you do it too often, it might overload the database. So we experimented with doing it in the background or using the Xcode app lifecycle, but ultimately we settled with making these API calls when the state changes. So some of the future features we want to include in Tamamon AR is first, push notifications. So if you haven't interacted with your Tamamon in a while, it'll give you a gentle reminder. But the longer you go without interacting with it, the more the message will get a bit passive-aggressive or even hostile. But we understand that not everyone has the time to take care of their Tamamons, especially if they get busy. So we also want to include a Tamamon hotel feature so that you can check in your Tamamon and have them taken care of, so you don't have to feel bad about not interacting with them. Finally, we want to include these Tamamon evolutions so that as you interact with your Tamamon, it'll also evolve and change with you. So, thank you for listening to our talk. This is the QR code to our GitHub repository, which also contains a link to download our app. You can find more about the app and more about us in there. Thank you.
Thank you to Team Tamamon. Highly recommend checking out the Tamamon. Another cute thing about them is that they all make their own individual little sounds when you interact with them. I love them, they're so cute. Anyway, up next is Team Funky Chunky Monkey presenting Lightful. Yeah, doesn't really give away much here. But anyway, CC11 has been thoroughly educated, I would say, in the ways of the waifu. Everyone here agrees with me. Two mixed results. Yeah, I spent the early months, early weeks of our cohort playing strategy games or like drawing fan art, and still people talk to me, so here we are. Yes, because of this app, I've met the love of my life. And no, it is not a dating app. What does that mean? Team Chunky Monkey is about to tell you. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Max. So, Thank you everyone for coming tonight, and we are Team Punky Chunky Monkey here to talk about our senior project Rifle. So before we jump into it, I'd like to start off with some team introductions. My name is Sarah, I am tech lead.
My name's Ricky, I was a Scrum Master.
I'm Haruna, I'm front-end lead.
I'm Genta, I'm back-end lead.
I'm Khan, I'm team lead.
Hey, thank you everyone, that was lovely. I'd also like to take this opportunity to introduce Tanaka-san, our sixth member and user persona. Where is Tanaka-san right now?
Oh, he's over there. Tanaka-san, what's the matter? You look sad.
Life sucks, okay? Life does suck. So, I'm attending this bootcamp right now. I'm so busy and worn out. At the end of the day, all I'm gonna do is eat junk food, watch anime, and go to bed.
You know, that does suck, Tanaka-san. You know, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think a lot of people probably do too. When you get really busy with work or with study, it's really hard to stay motivated and to take care of yourself. I had exactly the same problem until I found this fantastic new app called Waifu.
Waifu?
Right, Waifu is a fantastic new fitness and health app that motivates you to self-care by rewarding you with your favorite anime characters. How about we take a look at the features together?
Sure.
Alright, so we will come over into my Waifu app here. Thank you, Khan. Alright, so we open it up, we get a nice loading screen, and this is the home page. So since you like anime so much, how about we start off on the Omikuji tab? So by doing activities or exercises with this app, you will gain Ikigai points or life points. You can then spend these Ikigai points to pull Omikuji or fortunes. Every time that you do this, you receive a random anime character from a series of your choice. So we've got Asuka, which is nice. Let's come back over to our collections page. We can view all the characters that we've collected so far. We can press into them for more details. You notice that she has a level, which is based on how many we've collected so far. And she has extra artwork that we can collect by raising her level. You can even add characters to your favorites if you want to see more of them around the app. What do you think?
That's awesome, but how do I get Ikigai points?
That's a great question. Right, so let's talk about that next. You can get Ikigai points by doing exercises with the app. So let's start off with doing a workout. If we go into the workouts tab, you'll notice that we have a list of all these pre-made workouts that we've made for you. You can filter them by muscle or by equipment. Constantly, we have a pull-up bar that came out from nowhere. So how about we select pull-up bar and do some pull-ups? How many do you want to do, Tanaka-san?
Alright, I'll do 10 for waifus.
Right on. How about you, Tanaka-san? So while he's doing that, let's enter in 10 pull-ups. I'll submit this, and you see that we get 10 Ikigai points and some words of encouragement from one of our favorite characters. You notice that this also logs all of your past workouts. And if you come back to the workouts page, you may notice that in case you don't like any of the workouts that we've supplied, you can add a new one. So you can use this app to track whatever you want.
But there's one thing I'm worried about, Sarah. I see you recruit Asuka, who's a top-tier waifu, but she's completely out character. She's not supposed to be that friendly.
Right. She should be tsundere.
You guys are gentlemen of culture. I know exactly the problem that you're talking about, and this app actually has the perfect feature for you. So let's come over to the Shops tab. You can actually exchange Ikigai points here for characters of your choice, but let's say that you want to personalize, you want to customize your characters a little bit. You can actually purchase personalities or quote sets for them. So, as Tanaka-san very astutely pointed out, Asuka should be a little bit tsundere, she should be a little bit nasty, a little bit mean. We already have the tsundere personality purchase, so if we come over to the collections page, come into Asuka's profile, we can actually set her to be tsundere, and she'll be a little bit more true to character. Let's show you guys this feature while I show you the cardio section. So if we come over to home, we can start a run. And the app will actually track our current location and reward us with Ikigai points based on the distance that we run. If we stop now, we don't get any points because we haven't gone anywhere, but we do get some heartfelt words of support from our favorite Asuka. And you can also see a log of all of the runs that we've done so far. So in case you don't like fiddling with the app and turning runs on and off, there's also an option to get daily Ikigai points based on the amount that you ran the day before, which is great. So, how are we feeling, Tanaka-san?
Hell yeah!
Yeah! Oh, thanks, that's lovely. So next I'll be passing it on to Haruna to talk about the tech stack that we use for this app.
Thank you, Sarah. I will talk about our tech stack. In front-end, we use React Native. React Native allows us to create native application for Android and iOS using React. In backend, we use Ruby on Rails and provided GraphQL. For database, we used PostgreSQL. Finally, we deployed on AWS. With Elastic Beanstalk, we can quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud. RDS makes it easy to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. Also, we use these APIs. Workout Manager provides us the exercise information, and Kind.moe API gives us the anime information and images. Next, Genta will talk about our challenges.
Thank you, Haruna. I'd like to talk about our challenges. So firstly, machine settings. As you know, we used React Native for our frontend. Then we had to install Xcode on our machines. But on some members' machines, Xcode didn't work properly. Also, in terms of Ruby on Rails, we had a hard time to set it up. Okay, secondly, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So we followed the instruction on AWS on the page, but we couldn't deploy our application on AWS. Then we Googled how to solve these problems. We tried them and got another bunch of errors. Finally, we could deploy our application on AWS. Then finally, using React Native Web was really challenging for us. So setting was really difficult, and also how to set pins on the map and how to track user trade, those kind of things gave us hard time as well. Next, Luke is gonna be talking about what we learned from this project.
Thank you, Genta. Right, the first learning we had is React and React Native. Their code bases look quite identical, but we needed to take different approaches to make navigation and screens available. Throughout this, we learned how to better work with both of them. And next, setup and configuration. Since we introduced so many new technologies, we need to learn all of them and work with all of them together and bundle them all of them together. Throughout this, we learned how to really better work with all of these technologies. And last one, a deployment to the App Store. So this project was really a great opportunity to gain experience with the whole process of deploying an app to the App Store. So we finished deploying an app to the App Store, and we thought, great, this is all we have to do, right? But we actually run into a few problems during deployment. For example, we needed to take screenshots of specific features and videos of the specific functionalities, and also legal documentation like privacy policy, which none of us had experience with. So knowing that these challenges exist was really educational for us. And next, our CTO Kant's going to talk about future features.
Thanks, Rookie. So I'll walk you through our exciting future features we have for Waifu. First of all, we'd like to have the social login so that our user can use their social media accounts such as Twitter, Google, Facebook to get into Waifu, and also include the feature that user can add friends and compete against their friends. Also, we like to have more options for cardio. Currently, we only have run, but we know that some of you like to bike, or you might like to run on a treadmill. We just want to make sure that we incorporate the user lifestyle into our app as well. Next, nutrition. The user can record the food that they eat every day, so that the app will give the user the calories data, so the user can keep track of what they put into their body. Up next, very exciting, sleep tracking. We want the user to be able to keep track of how many hours they sleep every day, and also the mental wellness feature that will help user in terms of grading exercise or meditation. Last but not least, our user achieved so much. We want to make sure we recognize them by having trophies features and also quests that will help our users stay motivated. Yes. So that wraps up our presentation this evening. This is our team GitHub handle, QR code to the App Store. We hope that everyone will start using Waifu today. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Team Chunky Monkey. I hope everybody is ready to add some waifu to your waifu. We've been through a lot, haven't we? Okay. Well, that concludes all of our presentations. I'm so proud of everybody. Everything looks wonderful. And I am now going to pass it off to Yan. Thank you, everyone, for listening tonight.
Hey everybody, hi everyone on the live stream. Thank you for tuning in, for joining us. Thank you for staying at home. Thank you all for coming here today. Thank you for following all of our pretty strict rules. We're in a weird situation in the world, and so I'm really happy that we can forget about all of that and come and celebrate how amazing these students have done. Like what Max said in the beginning, right now we have 18 students here today, and 9 of them graduated from foundations. So half of this class, we've seen them start from learning how to write a variable, getting lost in for loops, figuring out objects, and then now they're doing this, which is kind of like unthinkable if you consider where a lot of these students were only a few months ago. So I think it's incredible. I mean, this kind of progress is really difficult to communicate and convey to people, right? Like exactly how much can be done. It's so difficult when we're telling this to people who maybe are not technical. And even for those who are, I think there's a lot of software engineers out there who look at this and look at the progress and they think like, that sounds too good to be true. There must be something. And I guarantee you all, like there is nothing but hard work in this progress. These students have worked their butts off for the past 3 months and more, because we make our students go through some pretty crazy hoops through the process. So this is hard work, and I really hope that what you see today inspires you and motivates you. This is what can be done in 3 months. This is what you can do. All of our students right now are ready to go as software engineers. They can hit the ground running. Whether or not they feel that about themselves, we hope you do, but just from what we've seen today, I mean, I think all of us can agree, like, we have some real rockin' software engineers in the house. So congratulations to all of you for that. Let's give them another round of applause. And we've got some new software engineers coming up on June 25th. Please mark your calendars. You're gonna see this magic. They're gonna be presenting some, I know they're gonna be some kick-ass projects. Please mark your calendars. We always start at 7:30 p.m. and yes, we will be live streaming. In fact, for those of you who are on our live stream right now, you can also catch our previous demo days. All of this stuff is online on YouTube. So go check those out if you wanna see previous projects. So thank you all so much for coming. There has been a lot happening in the world in the past just 24 hours. And so thank you all for coming, for spending this time with us, for supporting these students. Thank you so much. And I want to pass off this microphone to Connie back there for some final remarks in Japanese. Yeah! Come on up. Remember to wave hi to the people on the internet. By the way, there's a lot of people watching. A lot. And it's been so much fun. I mean, I think this is what's awesome about having this live stream and pushing for people to be remote on it. It's been so much fun, like, reading all the comments across on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's been a lot of fun, and that's reminded me, like, yeah, even though, you know, there is this coronavirus thing happening, like, there's so much magic that can still be created, that can still be discovered. So thank you all so much.
皆さんこんにちは。ヤンがおっしゃったように、皆さん本当に今日ここでプロジェクトを、紹介していただいた皆さんは、3ヶ月間で、ここでこれを作ったわけなんですけども、本当にこの学校に別にマジックがあるわけでもないし、カリキュラムがどこよりもいいっていうわけでもないし、本当にもう皆さんが素晴らしい方々なんです。努力してそういう結果を出してます。だからもう一回拍手をあげたいと思います。今部屋にあんまり人はいないんですけども、こうやってこの先は、コロナもあって多分オンラインになると思うんですけども、今日も実は68人ぐらい69人になりましたぐらいリモートから今これを見てます。こういう大変な時期だけど、全然皆さん全員ウイルスに負けないで頑張っていきたいと思います。でウイルスのおかげでおかげって言ったらおかしい、ウイルスのせいでもいっぱい新しい気づきも、新しくやることもチャレンジも、オポチュニティも出てくると思うので、それを捕まえて頑張っていきたいと思います。で、I think I'm talking too much.
Take off the hat.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. We just created this new, coined a new term for ourselves at Code Chrysalis. Let's not try to survive the virus, let's thrive instead. So who cares virus? Let's make sure we can get beyond that and really kick ass and take your new skills and do great things with it. So congratulations, おめでとうございます。Andこの辺にしておきます。じゃあ今日はこれで今日は we are not staying here after this event. All guests are asked to leave immediately because we don't want to have a konshinkai. We don't want to mix. Not because we don't like you, but because of the virus. だからここで一本締めしましょう。いいですか？皆さんみんな立ってください。Yeah, you should do this.
Oh my god, this is like my favorite thing about Japan. Yay! Thank you all so much for coming.